Hey, what's up? This is Brian Kuzmar with Commercial Rare Coins and Precious Metals in Lauderdale by the Sea. Good day for surfing, I guess, if you like surfing. It seems like there's a little wave out there. Something I like to do occasionally myself when I get the time and the opportunity to. Looks like this weather might clear up for the weekend as well. But we're not here to discuss the weather report. We're here to discuss gold and silver. And it has been a tumultuous week with precious metal prices, and let's talk a little bit about why. And I think today was what we could call a big pause. Um, Really, I don't even know if we could call it a pause today, but it kind of is. We're kind of sitting on that $22 plus level, $23 plus level here, and let's take a look at the ranges here. We'll run over the spot prices, and let me just refresh that page. This is a subscription service that we use, CCE. And let's see what the spot prices are saying here. 1868, New York closed at the range. Look at that, 1852 to a high in 1875. So kind of like a $25 range. Remember we were doing those $25 ranges when we were heading back up in that territory? Well, I don't think we're like in those $25 increments right now, but it's nice to see that it kind of picked up or ticked up a little bit at the end of the day. And my gosh, silver got whacked, big time. Even last night it got whacked again. But remember what I told you about silver? You know, silver's like the drama queen of metals. I mean, gold moves, silver moves violently one way or the other. I mean, that's just the way silver, and what silver does or seems to have done in the last year or so. So, silver, the drama queen of metals. However, when it does make its gains, it makes big gains. And when it does drop, it drops big. I guess it doesn't really matter unless you sell into those down markets or able to buy into those down markets. But really, until you sell your position, you don't have to worry about these down days unless you're thinking about adding to or buying more. Let's look at the ranges on silver. I saw, well, here it is up here. Last night markets, I saw 21.72. I said, holy crap, are they going to take it down to the 21 level? Which is not impossible. Again, September is a slow trading month, slow trading times. Typically when these markets get whacked or monkey hammered, and that's kind of what we're seeing this whole week. A couple interesting things I was noticing with the silver and gold ratio, but I'll get to that in a little bit here. So let's take a look. A high of 23.37. What did New York close at today? 23.18. So it closed over that 23 mark, which was nice to see. I just didn't want to see it go into a further free fall, and not because I wasn't I'm worried about it recovering, because it's going to. This is all based on dollar strength and monkey hammering. That's it. Nothing about 10 million pounds of silver was discovered and became worthless, or nobody wants it anymore. Nothing to do with that at all. This is monkey hammering of the paper markets or the digital markets, and again, dollar strength. That's why you saw these huge variations. Platinum didn't get whacked too bad either today, down 520. Not as up as much as the other metals, but again, I think platinum is just like, if you were going to call silver the drama queen, platinum would be like that other that other character that just is ambivalent to everything. Oh, okay, you guys are going up, I'll be up in a minute. You guys going down, I'll be down in a minute. That's kind of like platinum. Not like silver, like hyperactive and overshooting each way, And gold seems to be like the older brother of all of them. I mean, that's kind of a strange analogy, but that seems like, it's a good one, actually. Let's take a look at world spot prices. About the same right now as New York closed at. And silver, yeah, again, about the same there. And platinum up just a tad, 1165. And palladium, who cares? Nobody asked about it. And I sold the rest of the palladium I had. I had some palladium sitting around for a while because people were asking me. A couple of people had some, sat it here for weeks. Nobody's asked for it. What's up with that metal? Who buys it? Anyway, not going to talk about it. 851 in platinum. So platinum's up. It looks like the market's closed right now. It'll reopen again at 6 o'clock here. However, we won't know. Keep an eye on it. See what happens tonight. I suspect that the world spot prices seem to be leading the market a little bit again, unless we see some uber dollar strength like we did this week. I think we're going to see about well, it's possible. Remember, tomorrow's Friday, slow trading. They could possibly monkey hammer it again tomorrow, but again, if you're obviously you're not going to be selling your metals because the market's down a little bit right now, and I wouldn't recommend selling right now anyway. I really wouldn't. I just think it's a bad idea. Hey, could I be wrong? Yeah, make your own decision. But in my opinion, it's a bad time to be selling precious metals. It's a good time to be buying. So I guess the question you would really ask yourself tomorrow: will it be lower? And if it's lower, can I buy some more? That's really what you want. Or will it be about the same? Can I buy some more? So I'm kind of thinking that the market's going to be about the same, or it could even shoot down a little bit lower with some more monkey hammering and dollar strength. That's just unforeseen circumstances that neither you, I, or anyone else could see, really, except maybe the Fed. Oh, they could trade on gold and make a lot of money, couldn't they? Let's take a look at this article right here. And should we declare the gold bull run dead? I mean, this is a Schiff article, and it's more of a tongue-in-cheek kind of thing. And I'm going to show you why. Take a look at this. I'm going to read this. In order to believe the gold bull run is over, you have to believe that the Federal Reserve is actually going to tighten monetary policy and the dollar is going to remain strong. What have I been saying for weeks now, or actually longer than that? The only thing that was going to shoot the price of gold and silver down was dollar strength right now. That's the only thing us gold and silver buyers, stackers, are going to have to worry about is dollar strength. And dollar strength, when it happens, like it did this week, it absolutely happened this week, and it hammered markets here, along again with monkey hammering that typically goes along with this kind of stuff. But dollar strength really took a whack out of metals this week. And the thing I've been saying for a long time is these are unpredictable. You don't know when the dollar is going to get strong like this. Only the Fed knows and certain people knows. You can guess, but when you see this dollar strength, it's usually on a daily basis or a couple days or a week. It's not sustained. So if you thought that this dollar strength was sustained and the dollar was going to be, and again, I say this like a broken record, and you can read this right here. It says the exact same thing in the Schiff article, that if you think the dollar strength is going to get stronger and the dollar is going to stay strong and it's going to do better, then you shouldn't be in gold. However, that's not the case. And let me read what Schiff says here. In order to believe that the gold bull run is over, you have to believe that the Federal Reserve is actually going to tighten the monetary policy and the dollar is going to remain strong. That seems rather unbelievable, right? What have we been talking about? So, the big drop in gold and silver has primarily been driven by dollar strength. Yes, of course. That's what we've been talking about here on these little videos for a while. The dollar index hit a 2 months in, blah, 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 blah. The sudden risk-off sentiment hasn't only clobbered gold and silver. U.S. stocks have taken a big hit as well. In some ways, it looks like a little bit like March when everything was selling off. And I have to agree with that 100%. Dollar strength, but again, how long is this dollar strength going to last? And actually, think about it on this terms. This dollar strength is really a friend of anybody that wants to add to their portfolios of gold and silver. It's a great opportunity to add more because you have to look at it. Is it going to stay strong? No. And what's the result of that? Higher gold and silver prices, more than likely. So again, this is just my opinion. You got to make your own. Read these articles I'm showing you too, because I'm just pointing out little bits and pieces. That's like sound bites you get on the news, and that's all I can offer here is the best sound bites I can come up with. But I'm fully all about you folks learning for yourself and reading in depth about these things, and I think that's a good article. I like Peter Schiff, and I like the writers at writeonschiffgold.com. And I know you'll see product on there as well, and I'm not afraid to show you other product. I'm not afraid to show you JM Bullion, SD guys, but I can promise you this. I can beat their prices. I'm a smaller guy. I can run behind their margins, above their margins, whatever. It's easy for me to do. So if you're local in my area, come and do business with me. But anyway, a lot of these guys, well, I won't say the online companies that sell bullion precious metals because they don't really do reports per se, but guys like Schiff, who does sell gold, they're really smart, and I even read them myself. But again, if you're going to buy precious metals or do anything with them, with precious metals, come see me. Don't go to these guys. I can do a much better job. But I like their articles. Another Schiff article here. Peter Schiff, the stock market needs the Fed more than gold does. And he kind of says the same thing. The markets are getting clobbered this week, with the exception of the U.S. dollar. And it's kind of funny, 2 Schiff articles in one day. But again, I like reading his stuff. I think Peter Schiff's a really smart guy. One of the big drivers of the sell-off of precious metals was the perception that the Fed might be done with the stimulus. In his podcast, Peter said that notion is wrong, at least in the long term. But even if the markets were right, the stock market needs Fed stimulus more than a lot more in gold. So he's kind of talking about the same thing we've been talking about. Peter said here, he doesn't think there's a lot more downside to gold and silver. I feel the exact same way. I said on Monday I thought we had a little room to fall for some follow-through, but I do expect some significant buying to come in. I expect the same thing because, again, this dollar strength is only temporary. That's my opinion, and obviously Peter Schiff's as well. He noted that there's a lot of hot money in the markets and that some of it has found its way into precious metals. Well, anyway, I can keep reading and reading, but again, another article. Why can't you read this stuff in the Wall Street Journal? Really, for us gold and silver people, it would be nice to see a nice, Wall Street Journal do some articles in their commodity section where it should be. Gold is a major commodity, more so than ice, diamonds, and all the other bullshit they're pumping on there. Water futures. Give me a break. But anyway, they don't say anything about gold and silver unless it's negative mostly. And that's because they work for stock and bond companies that don't want to have nothing to do with physical gold. Of course, they'll sell you an ETF that's backed by nothing. I'm sorry, I didn't say that. Anyways, take a look at this article also in Zero Hedge, but you might be able to find it somewhere else. Just type in your search engine. And by the way, I love DuckDuckGo because they do not track everything that you do and put all kinds of crappy advertising on your page when you open the page up. But anyway, whatever search engines you use, type this in right here and read it for yourself. I highly recommend it. And let's move along to this. Oh, I thought this was kind of real important to show you. Oh, here. Before I move into the gold and silver ratio, little thing that I noticed, let's take a look at the Wall Street Journal about I was just talking about with Zero Hedge, who run Zero Hedge. By the way, I think is like a blog or a hub. They write some of their own stuff, but you'll see articles from Bloomberg, you'll see articles from Wall Street Journal, but you also see articles from all these different writers and different opinions and everything. It's something you don't see in Wall Street Journal. Wall Street Journal is just kind of like corporate news writers. And again, what was I telling you about gold and silver? When Wall Street Journal writes anything, they wrote nothing about the meteoric rise of silver this year. Great freaking investment. Even now, great freaking investment still. And gold, they don't talk about it, but look what they do write when they do write something. Gold prices hit by stronger dollar, declining inflation expectations. Precious metal, they're really like, come on, when you write something, it's got to be negative like that. And look at the headline. If you're not a gold buyer or silver buyer or anything like that, when you read that, what's your first inkling? Well, that doesn't look exciting. And most people don't read past headlines. Well, I'm not going to buy gold. It got hit and declining inflation bullshit. Anyway, not a big fan of Wall Street Journal when it comes to gold and silver. They offer nothing good, nothing valid. Some of the articles I have read, they've actually quoted people that are so full of shit, don't even know what they're talking about, and I know some of these people personally. Don't mean to diss them, but when it comes to gold and silver, Wall Street Journal does suck, but I like to look at them anyway, just to look at other things. If they tell me that the Fed's going to keep printing more and more and more and more money, then that is good bullish for us gold and silver guys. So it's a good tell, and that's one of the reasons I read Wall Street Journal, because they are in touch with that kind of stuff. But as far as gold and silver markets, they suck. Sorry, just my opinion. Anyways, let me move over to the gold and silver ratio. I noticed something really, really interesting. Didn't look at it until today, and I started looking at the gold and silver ratio, and I said, wow, it is way to frick off. Check this out. And I tell you what, I'm going to this. Ready? On Sunday, this last Sunday, the gold and silver ratio was 72.79 to 1. Look at this. As of Wednesday, 80 to 1. My gosh, 10 points. And look what it's been for a while. Consistent 72 to 1. This is on the week of this little crash that we had. So all of a sudden, earlier in the week, it was at like a really much lower 72 to 1 ratio, which seems to be the norm here for a while. So it's like an average that we've been following. All of a sudden, that ratio is way out of whack. And I think it's still about that same level, maybe just a tad less right now. So that kind of told me two things. That tells me, and I think really gold is the dog, and silver is like the tail a little bit, following the dog, and platinum the same way. But I think that what this tells me is that gold settled out around that 1885, 1850, 1885 range, and silver kind of kept going. Remember, I keep telling you it's like the a drama queen of metals. It just kept dropping and dropping. So when I got up this morning and I looked, I said, well, there's something, gold seems to have steadied out around this 1850 area, 1875 area. At least for now, it's still at that 80 to 1 ratio. I think what we're seeing here, based on this average we're seeing, is that silver really overreacted. It way overreacted, and it went way down lower than it should be. So there was two things I was thinking: is that silver was leading the gold, and silver was saying, "Hey, we're way too high. We need to go lower," or gold just kind of steadied out, and silver just went way below, overshot the bottom. And that's kind of what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that what we should see next week is maybe a continuation of the 70-to-1 ratio here. And what that tells me is that gold may go up a little bit, but I think silver is going to shoot up again. I could be wrong on this, but that's just kind of what this ratio is telling me. Anyway, I didn't want to make this a long-winded report. Tomorrow night I'm going to talk about something really interesting. One of the comments in the comment section of the reports I did this week, someone was asking, well, the price dropped to silver and gold so much, man. Why the hell are these dealers charging the same high premiums and everything? And I will try to touch on that subject tomorrow, because it really is an important point, and I get that. I get that. That's what it seems like, and it may be true to some point. But I want to address that issue and let you know why that when you see the silver price and gold price go down dramatically, all of a sudden you don't see there's any product available, and you don't see, and the prices, the premiums seem to go up a lot higher. But there's a very important answer to that I think a lot of people are missing, and I will address that tomorrow night. So anyway, thanks for watching. This is Brian Kuzmar with Commercial Rare Coins and Precious Metals in beautiful Lauderdale by the Sea. Call us at any time at 954-493-8811 for live quotes and different products that we have. I will beat or meet all online sellers on gold and silver and precious metals if I have the availability and if I can make that deal happen for you. Again, call us anytime and come in. And if you don't live in my area, there are great online sellers. I don't want to take anything away from those guys, but I love the idea of buying local and sticking local. So if you don't live in my area, feel free to call me anytime. And if I know someone outside my area that you can go see, I'll recommend them. If I don't, there are some good online sellers I recommend as well. Anyway, thanks for watching. This is Brian Kuzmar. Have a great night, and I will continue this report tomorrow, and let's see what happens.